Is the trade deficit an emergency? That is a great question, and that is a question that's up to the Supreme Court right now. So here in the U.S., as everyone who's probably watching this knows, the president has been extremely tariff happy because he views the trade deficit as an emergency situation, and has been granted powers by the U.S. Congress to enact tariffs as in emergent situations. Now, there have been several rulings from lower courts, from a district court and an appellate court here in the U.S. that have strucken down that definition of an emergency, right? I think we can all probably agree that it's not really an emergent issue. It's not an emergency, as you might call it. And so the case has been brought to, like I said, a district court and to an appellate court. Those judges in both instances have indicated that this is not the correct application of the definition of an emergency. It is not the correct application of the powers that have been delegated to the president. And the administration has obviously appealed up to the highest court in the land. So we are waiting for the Supreme Court to answer the question of, is a trade deficit an emergency? We'll see what they rule. I believe they have until November, so we're probably still waiting another month for a ruling back from the Supreme Court. If that happens, there's about $165 billion worth of tariffs that are going to be in limbo. And the question is, how do importers get that money back from the government? Obviously, the U.S. government is not a big fan of handing money out willy-nilly, especially with some like $165 billion. So we'll see what actually happens. We'll see what portion of that money is actually going to be able to be returned to importers. But they should see some significant windfall if the Supreme Court does, in fact, rule against the Trump administration. It will probably require, if you're watching this and you are an importer, it will probably require significant paperwork that your customs broker should have for you. You might need to do some logging in to the CBP website. You might need to actually create an account in the CBP website to see what has been imported under your name, because if you were like me, you did not know this even was a possibility of a thing, but you need to have access to Customs and Border Patrol systems, and the way to do that is to apply and log in, is to apply for a login with Customs and Border Patrol on their system. cbp.org is where you would need to go for that information and to get your login that is going to be tied to your company. That login will then allow your customs brokers to work on your behalf, because they're probably the ones keeping all of the records that will be required for any refunds that might be coming out. So word to the wise, start now, because it does take some time to get those logins and to get approval from Customs and Border Patrol.